She said, "Do you remember me?" And when I hear this, it's usually because I've met them as a patient in the hospital, and I go on high alert. I'm about to get asked a bunch of questions, yelled at, or hugged. One of those things is about to happen.
So I think everybody knows a nurse, but not everybody knows a nurse or knows the heart of a nurse or the work that we do. We are the vital backbone of healthcare.
We went from people banging pots and pans thanking us to being at work and people coming to the hospital with guns, threatening us, telling us that we were killing people.
Clinicians need to compartmentalize their emotions. A patient dies, you still have a patient over here that needs you to apply your knowledge and skills. The only way healthcare will be able to deliver on the safest patient care, the highest quality, and compassionate care and experience for our clinicians is to dive into this space of emotional intelligence.
I had the opportunity to take a WEI profile, and I learned a lot about my internal emotional landscape, things I maybe intuitively knew, but didn't have language around. And it really got me thinking about what's that internal story that we all carry forward about ourselves into our leadership and who we are and how we show up in the world.
The ability to sort of reflect in the moment when, it's not about when things are calm and the pace is as expected. It's about how we show up when we're under pressure.
Before I took the WEI assessment, I had no idea how I showed up. I didn't know who I was in many aspects. I knew who I was, but not when it came to self-awareness or relationship management. I can't believe I was a leader before taking the assessment. I'm almost embarrassed, thinking back on what did I do or say in these difficult situations.
Knowing more about my own emotional intelligence and my response to stress and how I'm going to handle a situation only makes me more better able to serve the nurses and the other clinicians that I support in my role.
Without the emotional intelligence piece, I would never be able to be where I am today, and I wouldn't be the person I am today. I think that it has changed not just my leadership journey, it's changed who I am.
Not only does it tell people, humanity, the important gift that nurses bring to them, but it helps nurses see the value that they bring to humanity. Recognizing that although our stories are totally different, there's a similarity in the fact that there's a human element that many times we don't allow ourselves to feel or have, and in our profession we need to. And this avenue allows us to do that and brings us together in like mind.
Ignoring this information about people's emotions and how that impacts how they work, take care of patients, impact the culture, would be detrimental to my team. We wanted this to contribute to our clinicians' healing process. And so coaching them not to have a story that is professional or slick, but coaching them to get at those distressing emotions and why it was traumatic for them is why we're doing the storytelling.
I think the funniest thing I remember is just all of a sudden having this moment where I was like, oh, I actually feel very comfortable telling this, which is something I did not expect, because as I said, I'm very, very shy. I'm very introverted at a baseline. So feeling comfortable when I actually got up to tell the story was something I did not expect out of it at all.
The one I think that has had the most impact is my personal relationship to myself. I now take time to reflect in writing. I have seen its value, not just through this poem, but other writing exercises that I have done as a consequence of that exercise in this poem. And so writing has deepened my understanding of myself.
I'm always so impressed, inspired, moved by anyone who would have the vulnerability to write their heart out. These are really powerful stories about how they've been changed fundamentally as people, not just as nurses or caregivers, but fundamentally as people.
One of the most impactful parts of that process was the people who messaged me after I told my story and thanked me for being brave enough to share it, because it allowed them to get in touch with a piece of them that they had buried somewhere.
We've created this initiative of helping people heal from some of the stories that they carry in them that can't seem to form scar tissue over that wound, and being thoughtful, reflective, and holding space for people allow them to find the internal resources to make sense of what's happening to them.
My role as a leader is absolutely to deliver on the highest quality patient outcomes, the safest care, the most compassionate care. That cannot be done without taking care of the people who take care of those human beings. We become very knowledgeable in healthcare. We have a lot of intellect, we have a lot of skills, we have a lot of experience. Now, tapping into emotional intelligence will transform healthcare, is my belief.
So there's a whole team of people in the health system who wanted to do this, and we're like, we're in. And it has really rippled into giving people permission to be human and to bring their authenticity to work. And we don't have to have a facade. We can be who we are and still be present for other people. And I want to believe that these films, the storytelling, the journaling, the self-reflection, the WEI assessment, all those things come together to spread compassion in the world. That's what I want to have happen.